meantime, let's turn our attention back to election 2016, which is the main theme for the hour. Both campaigns hitting the battleground state of Ohio today, where Vice President Joe Biden is there campaigning for Hillary Clinton today. Donald Trump spoke to veterans in Cincinnati this morning before moving on to a rally in Wilmington. Right now, the Real Clear Politics average in Ohio looks like this. Pretty tight, basically right around the margin of error, 44.8 to 41.0, where we've seen a lot of tightening in this race in a number of the battleground states in the recent days. So let's go to senior correspondent John Roberts, who joins us from there. Hey, John, good afternoon. What's going on?
Martha, good afternoon to you. At both of his events today, Donald Trump tailored his remarks to a local audience, talking to members of the American Legion about reforming the Veterans Affairs Administration, also talking about respect for the things that many veterans in this country fought and some died for to preserve, respect for the flag, the national anthem. He wants children across America to get up and recite the pledge every day, talking to folks here in Wilmington, Ohio about the economy, but at both events also talking about his newly outlaid plans for immigration, which he articulated in that speech in Phoenix last night. Here's what he told the crowd in Wilmington earlier today.
Last night, I outlined a bold new immigration reform to create prosperity and opportunity for all of our people, especially those who have the least. We will treat everyone with dignity, respect, and compassion, but our greatest compassion will be for the American citizen.
Donald Trump talking about treating people who are in this country illegally and those who would seek to come into this country with dignity and respect, but also articulating a very hardline tone last night when it comes to closing down the border, building a wall, not issuing visas in countries where there are terrorists abounding, and then as well talking about what might happen with the people who are in this country illegally already, kicking out people with criminal backgrounds and criminal activity, and then leaving for a future time, Martha, what to do about the rest of the people who are here illegally. But that speech last night in its hardline tone running afoul of members of Donald Trump's Hispanic Advisory Board. One of them, Jacob Monty, saying that he expected something more realistic, more compassionate, resigning after that speech. And I talked to one source who told me just a little while ago that as many as 7 members of this advisory panel may not have anything more to do with the Donald Trump campaign, though they don't want to resign because they think that that would be embarrassing for the Republican Party. More information on that as we get it. But also Donald Trump last night talking about his meeting yesterday with Mexican President Peña Nieto, saying that he is insisting that Mexico build the wall, despite the fact, Martha, that Peña Nieto told him yesterday, hey, we're not going to pay for it. So that matter in dispute. We'll see if it resolves itself by the time this campaign is over. Martha?
So interesting. John, thank you very much. So Donald Trump repeated, as we have talked about, his previous calls to deport, eventually, millions of illegal immigrants and also to build a border wall, and that Mexico, as he has said famously, would pay for it.
Mexico will pay for the wall. 100%. They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay for the wall. And they're great people and great leaders, but they're going to pay for the wall.
Fascinating how he's sort of riding both sides of that throughout the day yesterday. Joining us now is Jan Brewer, former Arizona governor and a Donald Trump supporter. Governor, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you.
So, it's an interesting kind of fence to be on top of in a way. He's trying to extend outreach to the president of Mexico yesterday and trying to open a dialogue with him for the future. However, when he got to Phoenix, he was very clear and, enthusiastic in sticking with that line that he will build the wall and that Mexico will indeed, despite the criticism from the president of Mexico, that they'll pay for it. So how's all this going to work, do you think?
Well, and I support him wholeheartedly. I think the American people, he has put American citizens at the top of the list. And by the way, I thought he was terrific down in Mexico. He really looked presidential and he showed great leadership. But those of us that have dealt with this border issue, we know that there are ways that can get it done. And in one instance, I will tell you that I believe that, as we were all told when we were kids, basically, you can do it, make it happen. Well, Donald Trump is that kind of guy, and we can address those issues, certainly with the Patriots Act, dealing with the transmission of all those dollars that are coming out of our economy that the illegals are sending back to Mexico to boost their economy. Millions and millions of dollars transfer and just leave our country. We need to address the issue and renegotiate the NAFTA situation to make it different. We can add, adjust and redo the visa fees.
Yeah.
So there is a way. If we want to do it, Donald can make it happen, and we've all been in those spots in our life. So I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
Let's put up on the board some of what you just talked about, which is, this is our Fox News research that shows that in 2015, Mexicans living abroad sent home $24.6 billion. 95% of that was U.S.-made money that was sent back into Mexico. Then that was the highest number since 2008 and totals more than oil revenues for the very first time. So, I mean, the idea that a check is going to get written is simply not how this is likely to be done. But over time, through trade agreements and through changes in the way this is orchestrated with the remittances, you could pay off the cost of the wall over time, right? That's basically the plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so let me move you on.
There's no doubt about it.
Go ahead. I just want to ask you about this other issue that John Roberts just brought up, which is that some of the Hispanic council that has been supporting Donald Trump was upset about his speech last night and now says that perhaps some of them will not be able to support him anymore. They wanted to hear more of that compassion for people who live in this country, children of those who were, who came in as immigrants and had children here, all of those people who fall into that category. What do you say to them?
Well, I believe that he said very clearly last night that the first people that would be addressed would get the border wall built, and then address the people that are here that are criminals that have overstayed their visas, and then we can come with a plan to see what direction we're going to go. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of his plan, and he has promised the people of America, the citizens of America, that we believe in the rule of law. Now, when he gets in there and we get our border secured and we get these other issues started, I mean, it's going to all start at one time. It's not going to happen overnight. Then we can address that other issue. But we know that those people that are here, that have come across the border with their families or have come here to work to send their money back, that they are kind, good people. We don't have problems, in fact, with them or who they are. But we need our borders secured, and we've got to know who's coming in here. And we cannot simply take care of the whole world. There's other immigrants that want to come in, too, from other countries. Get in line.
Governor Brewer, thank you. We got to leave it there.
Thank you so much, Martha.
Thank you, Governor Brewer. Good to see you, as always, today.